Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most entertaining supernatural romances out there, Vampire Knight Guilty. Vampire Knight Guilty originally aired in the late 2000s, captivating audiences with its dark themes, complicated relationships, and unforgettable plot twists. Even to this day, Vampire Knight Guilty remains a beloved sequel, cherished by fans who fondly recall the deepening tensions at Cross Academy. We'll get into the history of this show a little bit later, but before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications so you never miss an update. Let's get it. Vampire Knight Guilty is the second season of the Vampire Knight anime adaptation, which is based on the shoujo manga by Matsuri Hino and produced by Studio Dean. Guilty picks up immediately after the events of the first season, delving deeper into the fates of Yuki Cross, Zero, and Kaname. This season explores Yuki's mysterious origins and the escalating conflicts between purebloods, noble vampires, and the perilous coexistence of the day class and night class students at Cross Academy. The series aired in Japan from October 7th, 2008 to December 30th, 2008, spanning 13 episodes. Now, let's get into the story. Tensions begin to flare when Yuki accidentally calls Zero by Kaname's name, upsetting him. Meanwhile, Maria Kurenai, recently awakened from a coma, tells Zero that Shizuka was searching for the pureblood responsible for altering a Hunters Association execution list, resulting in Shizuka's beloved being killed. Soon after, a group of vengeful vampires attempt to execute Zero for Shizuka's murder. Kaname intervenes and, in a cutting remark, insinuates Zero may indeed have killed Shizuka. Yuki vows not to speak to Kaname until he admits that Zero's innocent. When Yuki visits a nearby town, she encounters a young vampire boy who leads her to a lavish gathering of influential vampires. Kaname is present, and parents are swarming to have their daughters marry him, as pureblood connections are prized among the vampire nobility. Yuki briefly disobeys Kaname's order to remain in her room, and as punishment, Kaname unnerves her by asking if she wants to become a vampire so they can be together forever. Though Yuki hesitantly agrees, he withdraws, highlighting both his power over her and her confusing longing for him. After returning to the academy, Yuki's mind drifts more and more towards her past, which remains a frustrating blank. Soon, the students go on break. Kaname and several night class members, Rima Toya, Ruka Soen, Akatsuki Kaien, and Takuma Ichijo, depart for the Ido family villa. Hanabusa Ido stays behind, researching old family records to see who might hold a grudge against the Kuren bloodline. Meanwhile, Senri Shiki returns to his lonely home, only to be summoned by his mother to visit his ailing father, immersed in a tub of blood. In a remote corner of the academy, Yuki suffers unexplained flashbacks that terrify her. She finds Hanabusa rummaging around the Sun Dormitory, and the two temporarily coexist under Headmaster Kaien Cross' roof. Hanabusa remembers Kaname's suspicious actions after killing Shizuka. He was strangely sympathetic, as though he had orchestrated as though everything that happened was his fault. Elsewhere, Senri's father, Rito Kuren, awakens and asks Senri to lend him his power. Sensing trouble, Kaname abruptly returns to campus. Yuki, plagued by visions of blood, seeks answers about her past in the Hunters Association records. She discovers Kaien was once a vampire hunter, and hears the shocking notion that Zero can only avoid becoming a level E if he drinks a pureblood's blood, or if a rumored cursed twins prophecy is somehow reversed. A vital page regarding Yuki's background then suddenly bursts into flames as though someone is covering up her true origins. Shaken and disoriented, Yuki leans on Zero for comfort, while Kaname quietly reveals that his parents were actually murdered. Another clue that somebody is pulling the strings behind all these events. Yuki's condition worsens. She sees blood everywhere, struggles to maintain her duties, and pleads with Kaname for clarity. During a moment of panic, she nearly attacks him, but Kaname forgives her and professes his love. Zero, sensing Yuki's desperation, confronts Kaname to demand the truth. In that confrontation, Kaname forces Zero to drink his blood again, preventing Zero's descent into madness. Though Zero detests the arrangement, he endures it for Yuki's sake. Seeking reassurance, Yuki agrees to become Kaname's lover, convinced she might finally learn the secret of her childhood. Skipping ahead, Kaname orders his loyal night class to guard Yuki around the clock. Her staff, Artemis, a potent anti-vampire weapon, grows fickle, resisting its mistress as she hovers over the edge of a latent vampiric transformation. Ichiru, Zero's estranged twin, shows up as a new day class student, while Rima realizes something is very wrong with Senri Shiki. Rito Kurin has taken possession of Senri's body. Rito's objective, it becomes clear, is to consume Yuki's blood. At night, Yuki collapses in Kaname's arms. Kyan Cross says the time has come for her awakening. Kaname bites her and then transfers some of his blood back to her, restoring her sealed memories. Yuki is revealed to be a pure blood vampire of the Kurin family, Kaname's sister and fiance. Yeah, this part is very weird. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. This is like some type of JJK relationship with those two silver-haired siblings. This shit is just nasty. Rito was the one who slaughtered Yuki's parents, Haruka and Juri. Haruka died fighting him, while Juri sacrificed herself to seal Yuki's vampiric powers, turning her into a human child with no recollection of her family. Zero, seeing Yuki in her vampire form, assumes Kaname forcibly did this to her. Yuki then tells Zero that Kaname is in fact her brother, though Kaname privately admits he's actually an ancestor of her family, summoned from a long sleep, not truly her sibling by birth. Meanwhile, Rito fully resurrects himself by consuming blood from various sources, including Kaname's, who cannot kill Rito directly because Rito was the one who awakened him. Kaname then orchestrates a chain of events. He slaughters the Vampire Council, ensures Yuki is guarded, and urges Zero to fight Rito. By drinking Shizuka's, Kaname's, and now Yuki's pure blood, Zero has grown powerful enough to rival Rito himself. Sensing that Rito will not rest until he devours Yuki, Kaname depends on Zero's unique position as a hunter pureblood hybrid to finish him off. However, tragedy unfolds. Ichiru shoots Zero with Bloody Rose Gun, explaining he tried to kill Rito to avenge Shizuka's lover, but was wounded instead. In his final act, Ichiru asks Zero to consume his blood, allowing Zero's power to fully develop. It's at this point in the story, Zero sets off to destroy Rito. Simultaneously, Kaname attacks the last of the Vampire Council. On the academy grounds, Rito summons a swarm of ravenous servants who prey upon the day class students, forcing the remaining night class to defend them. Yuki rescues her friend Yori Wakaba, although Artemis rejects Yuki's pure blood essence, only to transform into a deadly scythe in her hands. This astonishes everyone. Purebloods typically cannot wield anti-vampire weapons, but Yuki's determination to protect her friends fuels a newfound power. In the climactic battle, Zero nearly loses control of his augmented vampire powers, but Yuki injures him with Artemis so he can regain his senses. With Yuki's help, Zero powers up the Bloody Rose and injures Rito, who flees in desperation. Kaname confronts him in the woods, but the final blow is delivered by Zero, eradicating Rito once and for all. However, the uneasy truce between Zero and Kaname disintegrates after this battle. Zero points Bloody Rose right at Kaname, yet holds back from shooting when Yuki appears. Realizing her nature as a pureblood, Zero declares that he remains a vampire hunter first and can't reconcile his feelings for her now that she's truly a vampire. Yuki, while still cherishing Zero, accepts that his vow is to kill all purebloods, including her, if they threaten humanity. She thanks him for all that he's done, and they share a final goodbye. Drinking Zero's blood for the first time, Yuki senses his love for her, but can't deny how fate has torn them apart. With Rito's threat gone, Kaname asks Yuki to leave the academy with him, as her safety can no longer be guaranteed. Though Yuki hesitates to abandon the place that she called home, she ultimately decides to accompany Kaname. They depart alongside several night class members loyal to the Kuran name. Senri Shiki and Rima Toya, reunited and recovering, begin to search for their missing comrade, Takuma, who vanished after confronting his grandfather. Headmaster Kyan Cross, having vowed not to take up the blade again, assures the day class that the crisis is over. While they remain oblivious to many details, the students can sense that something has definitely happened. In the aftermath, Zero stands within the academy walls, grappling with a complicated mixture of betrayal, longing, and determination. Yuki's final words echo in his mind, and in turn, Yuki recalls Zero's promise that they will meet again, only next time as sworn enemies if her pureblood destiny is to destroy all humans. And that's the end of Vampire Knight Guilty. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification icon so you never miss another update. Until next time, peace.